The saga of Build Divide continues with episode 2, because thankfully they kept doing stuff I could talk about. Also, thank you all for the general positive response on the episode 1 reactions. As long as this show stays interesting, I'm going to want to keep talking about it. So seeing that there is some interest in this show, and potentially the game if it comes out, that's going to make me very happy. So yeah, we are here to talk about episode 2. And episode 2 opens up basically continuing where we left off, not a big shocker there, where we open with learning that our main character lives in a tent down by the river. Chris Farley would be so proud. So he's living in a tent, and the girl hands him bread. And it's something I noticed, each time we see bread in this show, it's different. I don't know if that means anything, or if I'm just reading into it, or maybe a bit of both, but that's something I noticed. And she's all like, "What are you here for? What do you want to do? Do you go to school? I go to school. Hey, look, you kind of look like you're wearing the same school uniform as me. Oh, well, looks like we're in plot convenience land together." It doesn't actually bother me that much, but I'm just like, what are the freaking odds? So anyways, so she's like, well, you probably go to my school. He still doesn't remember anything and is still kind of edgy boy. That is one thing that could become a problem later on. If he doesn't start developing an actual personality trait sometime soon, it's going to be a bit of a problem and he'll fall by the wayside. Some of you may think with my statement just now that's a little bit harsh because it's only episode 2 and the gimmick is he has no memories and has to sort that out in a world he obviously can't really trust. But in a world where, say, both with Yuga and Yu are just sort of like personality all the time, when you have this guy kind of not, it A, will make him sort of seem awkward compared to his rivals in the card game anime world, but also it's just kind of like, it's just going to mean he's not very interesting. But we'll see about that as we go and more of the mystery of him unfolds. Just make sure it's more to him than just the mystery. But yeah, no, so anyways, then they're like going to the school, and we get a bit of an explanation as to how the world works. Now, in card game anime, it's become this joke and a meme that the whole world just runs on card games, and everyone is just expected to go along with it. So what does this show do? Just flat out fucking says it. Build Divide rules the fucking planet, or at least the city, or this district, and the only way you get anywhere in life is being good at Build Divide. You know what? I fucking respect that shit. Like all these card game anime, the whole world revolves around card games, but instead of kind of saying it and choosing to have some fun with it, they've got to kind of go around it and have some sort of mental gymnastics to go around it. Instead of just being yeah, this is our plot, just go with it. This one just flat out did it. It just said, this game rules the goddamn world. And I mean, look, people can hurt each other with it, so yeah, why wouldn't it? So yeah, that's what happens there. We also get another explanation of something that isn't going to matter to a lot of people, but has kind of been bugging me lately. So we find out that everyone is wearing these contact lenses that when you blink twice in rapid succession, it just activates the computers in them, and you can interact with them, and you can see things like other Build Divide challengers. And something I think is sort of neat is a lot of the world actually revolves around this kind of hologram technology. That's a nice bit of world building. It's not just it's brought up when the writers remember, it's constantly being used. Whenever they interact with their environment, they're using the hologram function. They obviously use it to discover opponents and see their stats, so that's a great way to get exposition through quickly. This is actually kind of a fun, creative way to use what's becoming a fairly common trope these days. And I actually quite enjoy that. So yeah, then they get to this school, and she's sort of making it sound like it's going to be a big mystery to figure out who he is. They got to solve it. No, they just kind of get that out of the way right away when a big-boobed teacher with glasses and a sweater shows up. I support this. And she's just like, "Oh, it's you, new kid. It's time for you to come to class. You can't miss any more school." And there, that's it, resolved. You at least know he's a student here, or maybe that's his cover, or whatever, and they're going to do something about it. So yeah, then we go to them in their respective classes. He, like all good card game anime protagonists, would much rather look at his deck, and I'm sure if you wanted to, you could probably poke holes in how the sort of contact lens hologram technology works in this. this, but it's one of those things to where it's like a simple, straightforward explanation that can just keep me going without distracting me is all I ask for in something like this. But yeah, no, so then we skip ahead to them, of course, being where all edgy anime kids like to hang out, and that's at the roof of a building in a country with a constant sea breeze. Yes. Yeah, so they're on the roof, and they're talking, and she gives even more world building, and that is that the king dude controls everything. I think we might have learned this last week too, but basically the king guy is in charge, and not a lot of people like him, and our main character wants to beat the king. Is it for good reasons? Is it for bad reasons? We still don't know, just he's gotta beat the king. Here's the thing with exposition like this in a show like this. You see, exposition gets a lot of flack these days, myself included. That's because it's usually used lazily and without purpose and without a way that makes sense. But here, the world is constantly being shown as having all these, like, weird, different idiosyncrasies to it, and also we have a main character who has a built-in reason why he doesn't know any of it. Therefore, it makes sense that he needs to be explained things, and so therefore, when they're telling us stuff, we as the audience don't feel like we're being talked down to because it's information that needs to be presented in layman's terms. This is the difference between, say, Star Wars world building and Star Wars prequel world building. So yeah, anyways, so he's just sitting there and they're talking, and then we meet our character of the day, who also seems to be a new main character, and that is, I don't remember her name yet either. We'll just call her like little cute redhead middle school chick or something, I don't know. Yeah, so she shows up, we saw her a little bit at the beginning, and I swear, when the girl was giving the explanation that you gotta be good at build divide to get anything, and she says like, the horrors of this world, and like, it's right when the girl's undressing, I thought we were actually going to see that she's then going to be like a hooker or something. Like, that's kind of what it looked like. Like, you're good at build divide. It's time for you to get on all fours. That's where I thought that was going. But no, it's not. She's just getting ready for school. She pops up and she challenges him to a card game. And they're all like, we're betting all our chips. Okay. So they start the card game, and you kind of feel like she's gonna be a major character, so therefore she's gonna be really good. It's gonna be an intense fight. No, she kind of sucks, or she's at the very least a newbie or making mistakes. I like the idea they can make mistakes. So many times in card game anime, no one just ever makes mistakes. The main character's plot armor just like gets them through. But no, we see that she makes a couple misplays. She realizes things on the spot. She has to figure things out as she goes. These are fun little things that a lot of card game anime forget to include or just don't care about. We see more of the game. I like that there is a sort of like trap card, or I guess response card would be the basic way to put it, system, as I was at a Digimon tournament today, and I'm really getting sick of Lord Nightmon, do whatever the fuck it wants. But yeah, no, so they have their fight, and naturally he just brings out more and more of the edgy, constantly talking about the power of black, constantly talking about the power of darkness, putting up his hood, putting on the weird Joker smile. It just goes on and on and on, but it's so weirdly stylish and feels so intentionally kind of like, yeah, this is a little ridiculous that I can go along with it. But yeah, no, naturally he ends up winning at the end, and I like that sort of insinuated it might be more that she just kind of lost because she's got a long way to go. And then he's all like, you can't win in your current state. And then he's about to walk away, and she's like, please, make me your apprentice. Teach me, teach me. Shisha, I'm going to do everything you like. I got to stop thinking about the hooker thing. But yeah, no, you kind of know where this is going. I don't know if this is going to go the harem route, but she's obviously going to be the cute little sister type, the doting, like, will do anything for him, wants to learn, and I think that could have done right be a nice way to get some extra kind of character building in the show. As I said, the main character could get kind of old if they're not careful. Giving in a character who is this so positive and high energy and rambunctious, and yeah, we get the sad backstory, and it's fairly generic, but I sort of feel like if played correctly, she can be a good contrast to these two and can be a good way to develop their characters and her own. And I kind of like the idea of rounding out the cast a bit. And I like the fact that it's also a girl right away. We don't introduce just 5 guys and then 1 extra girl. And so naturally the episode ends with him not wanting around, and then they'll just kind of forget about it. But yeah, no, that was Build Divide episode 2. Once again, I quite liked it. I actually enjoy the way they're handling the world build building. I don't like the way they're handling the MC so much, but we'll see how that goes, and we'll see if these two girl characters can kind of keep things going. But tell me what you thought about the episode in the comments section below. Are you excited for the game to eventually come here? And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week where we'll probably meet another new character.